purpose. It drives us. Brings a passion to our everyday. Makes us care. We care about our planet, our customers,
nuestros clientes,
our colleagues,
nuestros colegas,
our friends,
החברים שלנו,
nos amis,
our children,
nuestros hijos,
наши дети,
our community,
as nossas comunidades.
Our passion shapes us.
La nostra passione ci plasma.
Nasza pasja nas kształtuje.
Creates spaces where people thrive. Helps us and our customers reach decarbonization and energy goals. And pushes us to advance smart solutions for healthy buildings. We're a diverse, passionate global team. Leading by example. Shaping hospital environments for better patient experiences. Inspiring students with advanced learning spaces. Taking stadium experiences to new heights.
It comes down to passion. And our passion is to build smarter, healthier, and more sustainable tomorrows.
We are Johnson Controls.
Okay, team, thank you very much for joining us. I hope you really enjoyed that video. Every time I see it, it inspires me to continue to drive the passion that we have at Johnson Controls. So my name is Mike Shade. I'm the Vice President of HR for our North America business. And what we wanted to walk you through here today is talk to you about really selling the vision that you just saw in that video to our customers. We are the world's largest, broadest solution provider in commercial buildings, building technology in the world. And as you heard our CEO, George Oliver, talk about, we really focus on smart, healthy, and sustainable buildings. Imagine, being in the marketplace, selling to our customers with a mission and passion of saving things. We save lives in our fire and security portfolio, which we'll talk to you about. And then we also save the planet with our HVAC and controls portfolio. So over the next 45 minutes or so, what you'll hear about is from many of our business leaders around what kinds of opportunities are available in the United States and Canada around commercial sales roles. We'll focus in on the different portfolios that we sell to the market in around HVAC, fire, and security. We'll talk a little bit about our early career track, and many of the leaders that you'll hear about started at our company fresh out of a university setting and are now in big leadership roles in the company today. And then we'll talk to you about the other kinds of sales roles that we have available to you, and then wrap up really with one of the really important aspects that we think is a huge differentiator for Johnson Controls is the investment we make in training and building your skill set as you progress in your career at Johnson Controls. So with that, I'd like to turn the call over to Melissa Murray, who leads our commercial organization for Johnson Controls in Canada. Melissa, over to you.
Okay, thanks, Mike, and welcome everyone. We love these calls. We always talk about how we could be speaking to future leaders at Johnson Controls and giving them their first impression. So I'm Melissa Murray. I just celebrated my 25th anniversary. I started my career in service operations. Shortly after, I took a role as a service sales rep where I spent a few years. Then I moved into a sales executive role in HVAC construction before moving into a sales leader role. And sales and sales leadership has probably been the most rewarding journey in my career thus far, working alongside our team to help them win with our customers. So let's get into it. I'll let you read this slide, but the translation is really that we at Johnson Controls use technology to make buildings smarter, safer, and more efficient. And what we're going to spend the next few minutes walking through is who we are, our roots, and our core offerings, and how we've evolved as an organization into a digital and smart building partner for our customers. Next slide, please. So Johnson Controls might be one of the biggest and oldest companies you've never heard of. We're not what you would call a household name, but we've been around for 140 years and hold over 9,000 patents. One of those, and my favorite, being the thermostat invented by our founder. We're fortunate to serve some of the world's most iconic buildings and customers, which is never lost on us. A lot of landmark buildings, and probably your favorite sports arena probably has Johnson Controls product. We have over 2,000 locations serving more than 4 million customers with a team that's helped those customers reduce over about 35 million tons of CO2, something I'm extremely proud of. So what do we do that's at the heart of all those statistics? If we can go to the next slide. Okay, I want you to imagine yourself in a building. So let's start with you walking through the parking lot. You're feeling some comfort when you look up to see cameras. Maybe there's a distress station. You enter the front door using your phone as the pass to grant access. You feel comfortable in this space because it's hot outside, and maybe you just entered an air-conditioned environment, or maybe the fire alarm test is being conducted just as this call was being started. These are our roots. So we're the manufacturer, the installer, the service provider of these core functions that make buildings comfortable, safe, and efficient. You can start to imagine all of these systems and pieces. Oh, can we go back to the slide? Of pieces of equipment operating behind the scenes. I mean, short of that beautiful thermostat that's on the wall, our solutions really exist as the heartbeat to the brick and mortar of buildings and facilities. Let's go to the next slide. So smart buildings aren't just about technology. Of course, that's a key element, but we think about it as creating spaces that work for people. And what truly sets smart buildings apart, it's not its ability to generate data, but analyze and use data. And that's what really sets Johnson Controls apart. It's our ability to access and use data, our data, by automating and integrating a lot of our own systems. So optimizing resource use, enhancing comfort, safety, energy. There's a lot in there, but it's looking at a building as an ecosystem. So buildings have always been our business as a manufacturer of building automation systems, HVAC equipment, fire alarm systems, sprinklers, security systems. The evolution of smart buildings was really a natural and exciting evolution for us. And it really allowed a lot of data that we had or we could collect, go to work for our customers and be useful. So I'd be remiss if I didn't direct you to our website or Google for that matter to search OpenBlue, which is the Johnson Controls digital and smart building platform and our suite of solutions. Next slide, please. Okay, so we've talked about who we are and what we do. I'll close with a bit of insight around where you can find us. And I promise you'll notice a Johnson Controls thermostat on the wall from here on in. But here's why I really like this slide. The range of projects and opportunities that we're fortunate to work on is incredibly diverse. You see hospitals here, sustainability projects, of course, smart building solutions. But the opportunities for you in a career, not just a job at Johnson Controls, is virtually endless. So with that, I'm going to pass it over to Marcos, who's going to talk about sales opportunities.
Thank you, Melissa. Hi, my name is Marcos Valadares. I'm the regional sales leader for the South Atlantic. I'm one of Melissa's partners. Thank you for that awesome intro. The South Atlantic for Johnson Controls goes from Virginia all the way down to Florida. And I'm the commercial leader for that footprint. If you could just kick over one slide for me. First and foremost, thanks for your interest in Johnson Controls. So what kind of opportunities do we have in sales at Johnson Controls? They go across all the parts of the building that Melissa was just talking about. So I'm going to talk specifically about HVAC, security, controls, and fire. In those, I'm going to talk through the types of positions we have through those life cycles of a building and or the piece of equipment. But before I do that, what's it like working here in sales? And a lot of the questions that we get when we go through interviews, with people is, hey, what kind of support do we get in the sales position here at Johnson Controls? So I'm here to tell you that it is tremendous. I've been in the construction business my entire career, and Johnson Controls has the most support for sellers in any position I've been in. I've only been here 5 years, and I've been working over 20. So That'll tell you how much experience I have and how awesome it is here at Johnson Controls. So what's awesome about it? World-class sales support from what we call the GCOE, or Center of Excellence. Think of that as your own bespoke team of helpers to help you put together estimates so that you can spend more time in front of your customers, developing relationships, helping them solve their problems. We have a huge group of engineering teams that can help you out. We have world-class estimating tools. You're not using pen and paper and scale pad like where I started. And everything that we're selling is digitally connected, which puts you in the forefront of the technology with the competition that you'll be facing. So in those positions for both HVAC, when I say HVAC, I'm talking about air conditioning equipment. For security, we're talking about access control, CCTV and intrusion, even some shooter detection stuff. For controls, think of that as the brain of the building and what operates the heating, air conditioning, water, even energy, all of that stuff. And then with fire is life safety. It's fire alarm, sprinkler, early smoke detection, even nurse call. So thinking through this, when you're thinking about coming to work for JCI, what excites you? Do you want to be involved in helping design the building with the engineer and the owner? That's new construction. You're going to be there to help position JCI to be the right choice for that building, with helping the engineers design the building, with helping the owner bring their dream come true. Because sometimes the owner says, I want this to happen, and that could get lost in translation as it goes through the construction process. You help ensure that here at JCI. Also in new construction, you're working with contractors. That could be a general contractor, an electrical contractor, or a mechanical contractor. Working those relationships so that we're the right choice for them to partner with to go build that building. Moving on, once the building's up, who's going to maintain it, right? We have sales positions there to help go and work with owners to maintain those expensive assets that they just invested in. You're there selling a proactive service and maintenance agreement. Within that, there will be things that are in scope and out of scope where you're just helping them. Hey, something went wrong. They call you up. You're there. You're the hero. You're wearing the cape. You activate a team locally to go fix their building for them. Then there's the owner side of the business. That's really where account management. If account management's your passion, this is somewhere where you want to play, where you're helping the owner do their capital planning, plan for the future, planned retrofits. Hey, I've got a building is 25 years old. In the next 5 years, I want to refresh that. You're there working with them, acting as a consultant, a guide, and offering them the best possible solution for them to upgrade into the future, the building of the future, the safe, sustainable building. Before I leave you, those are really the positions that my colleagues are going to go through with you here. But before I leave you all, if you go to one slide over for me, I'm going to kind of talk to you about my career here at JCI. Like I said earlier, I started 5 years ago. And I truly love working for JCI. And here's probably the number one reason why I do. JCI affords me the ability to advance my career without having to rebuild my whole network at work. Prior to me coming here, my whole career was work somewhere 3-5 years, leave, and have to rebuild the network. JCI gives you an opportunity where you can change careers. You can pivot from fire to HVAC to security, to all of it, and still have that work that you put in your network to be able to lean on and pull on and increase your career value. I came in here as a local HVAC sales manager. From there, I went to be a regional HVAC sales manager. I was then promoted to a regional major project sales manager. And then actually from there, on my career development, one of the things that JCI absolutely is huge on is your own individual development plan. And one of the things on my plan was to be a market general manager. Check that off. I was able to become an MGM for South Florida. And then one day, the person who I'm about to introduce next, Brandon Jackson, called me up and said, hey, man, I want to promote you to lead sales for the East Coast. Obviously, I took that job. And now Brandon and I are partners in the South Atlantic, where he's the regional vice president, and I lead sales for him. So that's been my career. And what I want to leave you with here with JCI is just think about this. Imagine being able to continue your career without having to jump from a company to a company and rebuild your whole network. Really appreciate your interest. Look forward to seeing you soon. Brandon, over to you.
Thanks, Marcos. Great introduction. And hello, everyone. I'm Brandon Jackson. As Marcos said, I lead the South Atlantic region. I've been with Johnson Controls for 25 years, just like Melissa. And I started right out of engineering school. And I started through one of our early career sales programs, which we call BEST. And I started as an HVAC systems sales engineer. So as Marcos showed you the top part of that building life cycle, we have system sales that support our customers on the front end, helping them design HVAC, fire, security systems. And so that's how I started 25 years ago. So what I'd like to do today is really walk you through one of the early career sales programs that we call BEST. And this one is specifically targeted at engineering graduates who pursue sales in either our HVAC systems or fire protection systems sales careers. And so this program is amazing. I went through this program 25 years ago. It truly set me up for success. And every role that I've been in since I started Johnson Controls, I can look back at my first job as a sales engineer and really thank the onboarding and really the acceleration that I had into my first role successfully because of this program. So the way that it's set up is that it's 4 months. It's a great mix between virtual classroom instruction and then in-person training and learning. The agenda is pretty comprehensive in terms of learning our systems, how to apply them. You know, what problems do they help our customers solve in the HVAC or fire protection space? How you introduce our systems and solutions to help our customers. And then also how to work with your teams, whether it's in operations, it's in service, maybe it's our back office support teams or finance, so that you can truly bring the entire portfolio and experience to our customers. So that's what you will learn in the program. You do have the opportunity to travel to visit our facilities in Milwaukee as well as Atlanta. And the best part, when I look back at the program that I went through, even today, I have 25-year-long relationships with mentors who helped me onboard into the program and helped me in my first year in sales. I have peer relationships who I went through the program with, who today we still trade stories and really help each other in our careers. And so that is an amazing takeaway that you'll get as you go through these programs. So that's the BEST program. And if you go to the next slide, I can speak to just some of the ways that we prepare you to truly be your best as an account executive, whether you're a fire and HVAC sales engineer. First and foremost, you are the face to our customer whenever you represent Johnson Controls. So it's important that as you go through the program, we teach you how to represent Johnson Controls, help solve problems for our customers, and then how to leverage the enterprise behind you so that whether it's a sales opportunity, maybe it's an operational opportunity or something you got to work through financially with your customer, we teach you how to be that liaison so the customer doesn't have to work with 4 or 5 different people. You're the face to the customer. We prepare you for that. And also coming into the role, you know, from engineering school, you know, we teach you business skills. We really walk you through the financials of how the business works. So you learn a lot. You put a lot in your toolbox to be highly dynamic, agile, and truly a consultant to your customers. We also teach you really how to help our customers plan out their short-term, mid-term, long-term capital investments, as well as their OpEx spend, so that they can deploy it to their building life cycle, as Marco steps you through, to get the maximum return on investment. We also help you understand, you know, how to measure the progress of your relationship and the value that you bring to your customers, so that you can constantly correct and improve and really focus on investing in your development as a sales engineer so that you can be your best. So we do a lot through this program. It's one of the best, I believe, in the industry. And what's most important about it is that we set you up for success so that you can, day one, add value to your customers, have fun, make a phenomenal living, and really learn a lot about the buildings industry and all the different technologies that Melissa spoke to that we can bring to our customers and really drive a differentiated solution to help them drive better outcomes. And so if you go to the next slide, you know, a little about my career. as I mentioned, I started as a sales engineer through the BEST program I just spoke to. And from that, I sold for 6 years in the Houston market, and then had the opportunity to promote into the sales leader role, and did that role for six years in Houston, and then had an opportunity to go to corporate and lead sales for HVAC for North America. I was in that role for about 8 years. And then I didn't have the opportunity throughout my sales journey to learn operations and really how to run the entire business. So I had an opportunity to move into a field leadership position in Texas, running the Texas area. Did that for a couple of years. And now the last 2 years, I've been a regional GM leading our South Atlantic region. So there are so many different paths you can take. I truly feel that coming in as a sales engineer or an account executive or whatever type of sales you come into Johnson Controls as, it prepares you for just about anything you could be at Johnson Controls, including our CEO. And I'm about to hand you off to Jay Suggs, who will take you through one of the many paths that you could promote into that can really stretch and give you opportunities to bring even more value to our customers. So Jay, I'd like to hand it off to you.
Thank you, Brandon. My name is Jay Suggs. I am the Director of Business Development for Strategic Accounts here at Johnson Controls. I am unapologetically passionate about our sales culture here. Strategic Accounts is one of the many crown jewels of our organization where we have the opportunity to provide innovative partnerships with the world's most iconic brands, Microsoft, Google, Facebook, just to name a few. We're also part of collaborating strategic ideas and planning for a world's emerging industries like technology, healthcare, government, as well as logistics and commercial real estate. I want to talk about the roles that we have now in strategic alliance accounts. We have the strategic account executive. I like to call this role the quarterback of the customer portfolio. This individual will be the one who would lead the customer contact from an enterprise level, a top tier level, what we call in business a C-suite level. At this level, they will create these ideas that will span across the country for all our customers in regards to the iconic brands I just mentioned. Business development manager. Now, this is a shameless plug because that's my team. We are the hunters. We ignite the flame. We go out, we find the opportunities, we cultivate the partnerships. This is a very fun role. Then I think about the strategic account PSA fire account manager. This is also a part of my team, shameless plug. Our job is to do the same, hunt and find new logos as it relates to service agreements for the fire division. Then you have the strategic account manager, fire systems. That's install, that's construction, working with our GCs and electrical contractors across the country. And then you have for security, it's similar to the PSA role, but it's different because it's security and related to access control, cameras, biometrics, so many wonderful technologies we have in the pipeline. And then you have the retention specialist. So after my team goes sell it, these individuals maintain the account, the day-to-day that happens with this account, billing, upselling, just portfolio managers that handle the day-to-day. Now, my career trajectory here at Johnson Control has been nothing but short of amazing. In 2012, I started off as a PSR in the local market for New Jersey. And then in 2016, I embarked on my sales leadership career as a service sales leader for the New York City metro market. And then in 2019, I became the install leader. And then something miraculously happened in my career. 2020, I was asked to lead the global initiative for diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging for Johnson Controls, a position that changed my life, a position that actually changed my career. So I want to leave this with you. Imagine if you could show up each and every day as your full, authentic self to work, because it's got to be pretty exhausting to pretend to be someone that you're not day in and day out. But what if I told you that JCI will accept your uniqueness, your individuality, your je ne sais quoi, that thing that makes you you, and you will thrive in it. I'm living proof of it. I'm only here because of advocates, mentors, and allies. Special shout out to Mike Shade, one of the individuals that started off our presentation. Now, without further ado, I'd like to bring on my partner in crime, Marie Ramos, as we talk about service sales opportunities. I'll see you in the next interview.
Thanks, Jay. Appreciate the intro. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Marie Ramos. I'm the West Region Service Sales Manager. I've been with JCI for 7 years now. Today, I want to share some insights on service sales opportunities at JCI and why working here is a really great choice. Typical day in life of a service sales rep, what that looks like, and a little bit about my own career journey at JCI. At JCI, we support and sell a variety of services, as you can see on the slide here. We offer fire, HVAC, and security, as my counterparts have mentioned. We include on the service sales side preventative maintenance, monitoring, test and inspect, and what we call labor and material services. Our customers include facility managers, IT directors, risk and property management, chief engineers, a variety across markets. A lot of our markets where we strategically play are high education, healthcare, K through 12, commercial real estate, government, and data centers, to name a few. We add value by providing a responsive technical expertise to really help our customers with cost-effective preventative service agreements. We aim to expand our business by identifying and securing recurring service needs. We combine technology and insights to really build solutions for customers that address today's needs and really just shape a better tomorrow and a better future for that customer. At JCI, a structured career path with numerous opportunities to advance. I've seen it with my own career, which I'll speak about in a little bit. You can start in roles such as inside sales, installation sales, territory sales, account executive. Really, the sky's the limit there. From there, you can always progress into positions like service sales manager, which is where I started off my career with JCI. It can lead into a regional sales position, regional VP, director of strategic accounts, business development manager, program managements at a corporate level. The list goes on. JCI really it promotes and supports a supportive work environment where JCI encourages professional development, personal growth. The company is committed in helping employees to reach their maximum potential. A typical day in a life generally is timely and accurate with proposals. And what I mean by that is we meet customers' building and compliance needs, identifying new leads, collaborating, cross-selling across initiatives, across fire, HVAC, and security, and really partnering with others in the office. A service sales rep works closely with customers to develop solutions to meet their needs, ensuring customer satisfaction and long-term relationships as well. It's not a one and done sale, it's a recurring business sale. We interact with facility managers and IT directors, like I mentioned earlier, but there's other key stakeholders as well to our business to really understand those requirements and tailor the solutions. That's a really critical part of the role. So if we could go to the next slide where I can talk a little bit about my own career insights. I've personally had a significant amount of upward mobility at JCI. I started in the local market as a local leader out of San Francisco. I transitioned into program management for about 4 years in a corporate role across all of North America. I held a director of service role across North America as well, leading the fire service business. And now I'm back in the region as a regional service sales leader. This diverse experience, it's really allowed me to develop a comprehensive understanding of our business and then just grow professionally and personally. The growth potential at JCI is very high. The company values talent. It provides numerous opportunities for career advancement. And if you're ambitious and dedicated, really the sky's the limit. So my final thoughts before I go is JCI offers excellent service sales experience and opportunities, the supportive work environment, and it's a clear path for career growth. So if you're really looking to make a difference and grow professionally, JCI is a great place to land. I'll pass it off to my counterpart, Derek, to talk a little bit more about security.
Hey, thanks so much, Marie. Great job. Appreciate it. Good morning and good afternoon, everybody. Thank you so much for joining today. I really appreciate it. My name is Derek Foley. I'm the security sales leader for North America. So I think you've heard from a lot of my colleagues today about the various functions of our business today and how we approach a building from a building solution standpoint. So security is obviously just one of those phases of our building solutions, but we're able to integrate our security solutions with our fire and HVAC offerings. And I think as you heard Marcos talk about a little bit earlier, within those offerings today, right, what we really strive for is having everything from a digital connected standpoint to ensure that, the customer has one complete integrated system that spans across all phases of their buildings. We also have, a very innovative product and services portfolio. We have a dedicated lifecycle product management team that is always looking for the cutting edge technology that they know is going to allow us to work with our customers to make their employees and their properties, safer. When we think about security products, right, most often folks think of intrusion and video and access control. Certainly, that's where we started our business within security. But from there, we continue to evolve. And again, with that partnership with our lifecycle team and innovative products, the things that we bring to market today, in unfortunate times that we deal with, but, weapon detection systems, gunshot detection systems, cybersecurity, drones. So, just think about all of that technology. Pretty much any time that you turn on the news today, you're seeing some sort of story that's related to security of a building or people or property in some form or fashion. And then, really the best way to think about all those product offerings that we have is, for us to find a way to turn that into a serviceable solution for each and every one of our customers. And that's what we strive for. When it comes to security as well, for me, and I'll get into a little bit about my career history here, but it's a noble service, right? You think about getting up every day and going to your career, and we protect, as Mike pointed out very early on, we protect people and property every single day. What is more noble and prideful than what it is that we do as an organization? From a career opportunity perspective within security, various different roles that we have. We have an account executive role where these individuals work with our various customers, existing customer base, and also white space to help with the design and system and service solutions. We also have dedicated service development reps that specifically focus on service and recurring revenue solutions for our clients. We have customer care representatives as well that focus on customer retention, customer loyalty, and ensuring that we're always doing our best as an organization to maintain and retain and grow our customer base. And from there, right, you can take your career anywhere that you desire, right, with the right amount of focus. If you choose to stay within security in one of those roles, we have individuals that have been in those roles for 30 to 40 years. You can also, move into a strategic account manager role that you heard Jay talk about, or you can also transition into fire and or HVAC if that is something that you desire. You can also transition to an operations leadership role or any other function of our business that helps support our clients today. What's really interesting is the level of support that you get from the organization when you come in. So whether you have sales experience or not, or whether you have experience in any of the business solutions that we offer today, if you look at the operations team that we have that will work with you in your sales career, our lifecycle team, our global center of excellence, and then just the partnerships that you have from the other various business units as well. It's really a very collaborative environment that really helps folks onboard into the organization and really grow in their careers. If you want to transition to the next slide, so a little bit about my career. Brandon and Melissa threw out some numbers early on, and as did Jay. So this month will mark my 20th year within the organization, and for that entire 28 years, I've been in the security business. So if you sense that I have a passion for it, that's why. And it really comes back to when I talked about what it is that we do is a really noble service, protecting people and property every day. But I started as a residential installation manager. So 28 years ago, when I started with ADT, which we we became Johnson Controls through merger and acquisition. I started as a residential installation manager in Cleveland, Ohio. And then from there, I took on progressively more responsible leadership roles through operations and sales. And then I evolved from a local market to areas, to regions, to where I am today, leading North America security sales. So, it's been a great career. And, if you put forth the effort and you have a goal in mind that you want to accomplish, this is the place for you. So with that, I thank you for attending today, and I'm going to hand it over to Maitri, who's going to talk a little bit about our training and development. Thank you.
Thank you, Derek. Good morning, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining. This is Maitri Malia. I lead the Sales Learning and Development Organization at Johnson Controls. Really excited to talk to you today. We can go to the next slide. Before I get to speak, Brandon Jackson and a lot of the speakers have already spoken about the development opportunities at Johnson Controls. What I will focus on is the breadth and how we try to cover it all. So this slide divides into 4 different roles, right? So first part is new hire sales onboarding, productivity, and foundational capabilities. The moment you join Johnson Controls, on day 1, you have an onboarding side. You have a learning and development program manager reaching out to you to walk you through your new program and help you get to know your role. So we have a very strong onboarding support. And then we have some strong programs as well. So best, Derek has already covered. We have Sales Builder for lateral hires. We have Building Sales Leaders for managers. We also have Best Intern. So we have a lot of these programs. All of the programs have some commonality. They're all blended learning approach. So it's a mix of virtual, self-paced, in-person, and a lot of activities that help you make this learning real and applicable. So you're not just in a classroom or a cohort, but you're every week going back to your job and applying it back. So we have some really strong programs over there. Each of these programs covers introduction to Johnson Controls, your role, covers sales skills, sales process, technical knowledge depending on the role you're hired for, and finally covers sales tools as well. So that's our strong get started and be successful. But that doesn't end there. We truly believe in continued education. So 6 months after you join, 2 years after you join, what is going to be your experience? So that all is covered. And then we also have role-specific progression that is driven by skills, capability, and helps you choose your career path. And finally, we also do some strategic skilling, and I'll go in more depth in the next slide. So we can go to the next slide. The first slide covered all of the structured programs, but you as a seller have your own journey and your own experience even before JCI. So when you join JCI, how do you choose your own learning? So we have a Johnson Controls sales competency model. What also comes with this is we have a self-assessment tool. So you can actually take the sales development assessment tool with the support of your manager's feedback and actually identify which are the specific skills and behaviors that you want to focus on or need to focus on currently where you are. And then there's this entire program that actually helps you focus on a specific skill set. Again, very robust, something you can take at your own time. And then in addition to this, we also have a learning infrastructure. So we have AI-based learning platform that allows you to choose the skills and topics you're interested in. So we truly believe that we have strong structured programs, but you are an individual with your own set of prior experiences. So how do we help you go where you need to go? So with the mix of these structured programs and, the sales competency development-based learning and career pathing that covers a high-level view on how we are going to welcome you and actually help you grow at Johnson Controls. My primary goal and joy is in seeing you be really successful to your maximum potential. So that is our learning and development roundup. I will hand it over to Karina, who is our life safety systems rep. Karina, over to you.
Thank you so much. Hello, everybody. I'm Karina Nowicki. I am a new construction sales rep on the fire alarm side. I started about 3 years ago in the BEST program. So as you heard, that's just a really good opportunity to kind of get all the resources you need to be successful in this role. So Like I said, I'm going to walk you through a day in the life as a Johnson Controls sales rep. So really, my favorite thing about this role is that no day is like the same. It's every single day has new challenges, new successes. So it really keeps you engaged and excited about what's to come next. So some common tasks I do on a day-to-day basis, though, is visit customers. So who doesn't like to get out of the office and go see new people, interact, and kind of build a network and connection with this person so that you can provide the best resource for them. And then when those projects come around, you know what they're expecting and you know exactly what's going to help them out the most. So those are things like office visits or sporting events or playing golf on a Friday afternoon. So really whatever your relationship with that person is kind of how you can connect with them and then grow with that partner. So another really exciting thing is quoting. So we'll really take a project from a set of drawings all the way to when that building's built. So it is the coolest opportunity to take my fire system, lay it out on a drawing. It doesn't really feel like a real building yet or project. And then once you win that project, you kind of get to watch the project get built, and you'll be driving down the road one day and say, oh my goodness, I put the fire system in that building. So it's a really cool opportunity to feel like you're giving back and you're kind of keeping all those occupants in that building safe. I think you've kind of all heard from everyone on this call that, there's a lot of opportunities within Johnson Controls to excel within your career. There's so much movement. I'm currently in a program right now, and it's just working on what my development plan is and then also building my brand at JCI. So I don't think a lot of companies focus so much on what's next for you. So it really gives you a lot of room for growth and just makes you really excited for what's next. So thank you guys so much. I'm really excited for you and all the opportunities that come for you. And I'm going to pass it over to Michelle to go over some questions and answers.
Great. Thank you, Karina. And thank you, everyone who's presented today. Great insights by all of you. And I'm sure it's been very helpful to our audience. We do have a few questions that have come through. Mike, I'm going to pose this first one to you. I recently applied for a position at Johnson Controls, but haven't heard back. When should I expect to hear more?
Great, thanks. So what I would suggest is if you haven't heard back, typically what our teams do is evaluate the application and then work with hiring managers for review. So if you haven't heard back, I'm actually going to pull in our talent acquisition leader, Michelle Basile, to give you some advice as well on any follow-up actions you could take. So Michelle, would you mind jumping in here?
No problem at all, Mike. Thank you. And for those of you that have applied and have not heard back, you will hear back within the next week or so from a recruiter. You will also see a QR code at the end of our conversation for you to click on in order to schedule an interview yourself the week of the 26th. So please do so. And obviously, if you ever do have any additional questions that you're not getting answers to, please feel free to reach out to me on LinkedIn as well. I'm very responsive through that also.
Great. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you, Mike. Melissa, this next question is for you, and probably Marcos or actually any of the presenters may want to chime in. Do you have to have experience in HVAC, security, or fire to apply for a sales position?
I'll be happy to jump in first and then somebody, but Melissa, you can do it too. I came here 5 years ago and I didn't have anything to do with air conditioning, fire, or security. I worked in different parts of the building envelope. So if you're adjacent, your skills are absolutely transferable. Absolutely. Melissa, you want to help too?
Just add, I mean, you heard us talk about our learning and development. I call it the Johnson Controls University, and Brandon talked a bit about our BEST program. But having a sales acumen, a sales background is fantastic, but we also have incredible in-depth online learning opportunities and in-person opportunities, as well as, of course, in the field opportunities. So no, I don't think it's necessary to have a background in HVAC, fire, or security. Thanks for the question.
Thank you. It was a great question. Jay, this next one is for you about strategic accounts. What's the call point for a strategic account executive?
Well, when I think of call points, I'm thinking it's their location. The role itself is remote, but there's about 30 to 40% travel to go to certain corporate headquarters of our customers. But it's a remote position. It's across the country. It's not based on geography, but it's really based on account base and what's assigned.
Great. That's very helpful. And then I'm going to stay actually on you, Jay, for this last question.
Sure.
You had mentioned earlier that you had been a PSR. For the benefit of the audience, what is that? Because I know we are heavy on acronyms.
Well, let me just give a disclaimer. When you come join our company, there's an acronym module you got to learn. We have a lot of acronyms here at Johnson Controls. So PSR is Preventive Service Representative. So essentially you sell service agreements.
Great. Thank you, Jay. And that
No
is our
problem.
last question. And Mike, I will turn it over to you for closing comments.
Excellent. Great discussion. I hope this was super helpful for all of you. So as we kind of close out our conversation on the next page, Jay sort of alluded to some of this. Let's go one more. Sorry. So as we think about kind of summarizing what you've heard from all of our leaders here, you know, we spend about 70% of our lives in a building space, and 40% of the world's greenhouse gases come from a building, whether when we construct it or we operate it. So as you heard here today, imagine being in the marketplace and selling solutions for the spaces and places that we work in, we live in, we recuperate in a hospital, we dance in a wedding hall. And so the work is, hopefully you're hearing that we do has tremendous impact on the world and tremendous passion from all of us here in what we deliver. So if we go to the next page, then, Jay talked a little bit about diversity, equity, inclusion. And as Jay described, I really focus here on the I, or inclusion. Bringing your authentic self to work is exactly what we're all about. We have a very robust group of what we call business resource groups, which are affinity groups of employees to help people map on similar things. I'll point out two unique ones. One you see on the page here called Synergy. And this business resource group focuses completely on employee development. This is an employee-run program. In fact, they're having our CEO come speak to them in a couple of weeks to really talk about how do I navigate the company and build my career. And then, of course, the other one that I want to highlight is, parents and caregivers together, working in today's world in a 24/7 environment sometimes, so you have to manage your work life with caring for others, is also another really important focus area that we strive to drive towards. So to finalize, and Michelle Basile sort of talked about this, you see this QR code here, and we'll send some materials out as well. But if you scan this QR code, you'll be moved over to a URL to click I'm interested. You'll answer 5 quick questions, and we'll have interviews scheduled, and our scheduled interview dates will be August 27th. So with that, thank you very much, and we look forward to seeing you all soon at Johnson Controls, building tomorrow together.